Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to do something pretty wild. We are zooming way down into the absolute center of the atom to figure out how a tiny, almost imperceptible amount of missing mass literally holds the entire universe together. And not just that, we'll see how this invisible quirk of physics provides the ultimate source of power for everything, from the lights in our cities to the stars shining in the night sky. Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We'll go through inside the atom, the missing mass mystery, the curve of stability, splitting atoms, powering stars, and finally, radioactivity. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Inside the atom. Now, to understand nuclear chemistry, we've got to start with our fundamental building blocks, right? When you picture an atom, you probably envision a dense central nucleus with electrons whizzing around it. Well, that nucleus itself is made up of particles called nucleons. That's really just a handy umbrella term for our protons and neutrons packed in the center. Breaking down that core trio of particles, you've got your protons carrying a positive charge, neutrons with zero charge, and both clock in at about 1 atomic mass unit. Electrons, on the other hand, sit on the outside and are practically weightless. Now, here is the absolute key difference to keep in mind for this whole explainer. Normal chemical reactions, they just shuffle around those lightweight electrons on the outside. But nuclear chemistry, it actually rearranges those massive nucleons right in the center, which literally transforms one element into a completely different one. So, how does that work? Well, it brings us to section 2, which honestly is one of the most fascinating phenomena in all of science, the missing mass mystery. Think about it like a giant puzzle. If you take a handful of protons and neutrons, weigh them one by one, and then mash them together to form a nucleus, and weigh that whole nucleus, the numbers actually don't add up. The actual assembled nucleus weighs slightly less than the sum of its individual parts. I mean, where does the mass go? This is what we call the mass defect. Literal parts of the atom just go missing. To solve this mystery, we can follow these steps, using a formula you definitely know, Albert Einstein's E equals mc squared. Because mass and energy are basically two sides of the same coin, we can prove mathematically that this missing mass didn't just vanish into thin air. It was converted into immense binding energy. That energy is exactly what holds the nucleus together, fighting against the powerful repulsive forces of those positive protons trying to push away from each other. And the sheer scale of this energy is mind-blowing, because the speed of light squared, that c squared in the equation, is such a massive multiplier, even a microscopic fraction of missing mass creates an unbelievable amount of energy. If you do the math for just 1 mole of an isotope, which remember is just a few handfuls of physical material, you get binding energy in the magnitude of 10 to the 13th power joules. That is a massive amount of energy. Let's move on to section 3, the curve of stability. So that incredible binding energy actually dictates a sort of cosmic roadmap. If you plot the binding energy per nucleon against atomic mass, it reveals this clear mountain of stability. The higher up you are on this mountain, the more stable the atom is. Notice where the absolute peak is, right around atomic mass 56. That's iron. What this tells us is that all atoms naturally want to be like iron. It's the most stable, tightly bound nucleus in existence. Because every atom has this ultimate goal of reaching peak stability at iron 56, we see two competing cosmic trends. On the left side, at the low mass end, attractive nuclear forces dominate, so lighter atoms desperately want to combine and climb up the curve. But on the far right side, at the high mass end, repulsive electrostatic forces take over. Those heavy, bloated atoms want to break apart to shed weight and move left up the curve. This dynamic perfectly sets up our two nuclear giants, fission and fusion. Fission is the process of climbing that stability mountain from the right by splitting heavy, unstable nuclei into lighter, more stable pieces. Fusion is the exact opposite, climbing the mountain from the left by fusing light nuclei together to form heavier ones. Both of these processes release some of that incredible binding energy we just talked about. Let's take a closer look at section 4, splitting atoms, nuclear fission. Fission is the exact process humanity has harnessed to power our cities. In a nuclear power plant, we take an unstable heavy nucleus, like uranium-235, and we literally bombard it with a neutron. The atom becomes totally unstable and violently splits into lighter nuclei. But here's the real magic. Not only does it release a huge burst of energy, it also spits out extra neutrons. For every 1 neutron consumed by uranium-235, 3 more are produced. Those 3 go on to hit 3 more uranium atoms, creating 9, then 27, cascading into a massive, self-sustaining chain reaction. Unleashing this mass defect releases energy on a staggering scale. To put this into a real-world perspective for you, just 1 single kilogram of uranium undergoing fission can release the energy equivalent of burning 4 billion kilograms of coal. 4 billion! It's a level of energy density that traditional chemical reactions just absolutely cannot touch. Now, flipping over to the other side of the stability curve, we arrive at section 5, powering stars, nuclear fusion. So this complex pathway maps out exactly what's happening inside stars. We start with superlight elements, specifically hydrogen. Pairs of protons fuse into deuterons, and then, thanks to the immense heat and pressure in the core of a star, they eventually fuse into highly stable helium-4. The resulting helium atom actually has slightly less mass than the protons that went into it. That tiny bit of missing mass radiates outward as pure, blinding energy. It's what gives a star its light and heat. And the scale of this natural fusion reactor, it's almost beyond comprehension. To sustain its brilliance, our own sun consumes roughly 600 million tons of hydrogen nuclei every single second. It converts all of that into helium, releasing hundreds of trillions of joules of energy second after second. That energy travels across the solar system and is literally what warms our planet today. Finally, section 6, radioactivity and natural decay. What happens when an unstable atom tries to reach that stability curve without a massive, violent collision? Well, that's radioactivity. It's simply the spontaneous decomposition of an unstable nuclide. Basically, an atom realizes it has a bad ratio of protons to neutrons, so it spontaneously spits out high-energy particles or radiation just to calm down and get stable. The original atom is the parent, and what it turns into is the daughter. One very common thing it emits is an alpha particle, which is pretty heavy and equivalent to a helium nucleus, meaning it has a mass of 4 and an atomic number of 2. You can see the universe doing its cosmic accounting right here in this decay equation. We start with uranium-238, sitting there with 92 protons. It spontaneously sheds an alpha particle. That's the helium-4 on the right. Subtract 4 from 238, you get 234. Subtract 2 from 92, you get 90. The atom has literally transformed itself from uranium into thorium-234 while safely venting excess energy as gamma radiation. Nothing is ever truly lost. It's just rearranged and converted to find perfect balance. We've seen today how these tiny mass defects, literal fractions of incredibly small particles, shape the entire cosmos. They dictate the life cycle of stars and the creation of every element we know. It really leaves us to wonder, as we continue to study this curve of stability, and as we build better technologies to harness fission and eventually controlled fusion right here on Earth, what could mastering nuclear chemistry unlock for our future? Thank you so much for exploring the invisible power of the atom with me. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.